Hello friends, today we are going to summarize episode 9 of the anime Rofel and his daughter Aileen. But before we start, tell us in the comments which country you are watching this anime from. Our episode begins with Rafelia talking to Gadiel, thanking him for his letter. They haven't been able to meet for a long time. She misses him dearly, saying, "My father and everyone in the palace mistreat me. I know deep down they love me, but I hate it anyway. It would make me happy if you visited me again as soon as possible." The narrator adds, "Take care of yourselves these days, because there's a new variant of corona spreading, so stay safe." The scene shifts to Aileen, who is working like a doctor, treating patients. As you can see, she's checking tonsils and inflammation, doing everything necessary during these days of severe fever. Perhaps the new variant has swept through the area. She asks a father when his son started suffering from the fever. The mother replies, "The fever appeared suddenly early today." Aileen tells them, "You must give him a fever reducer immediately. It's not good for his temperature to stay this high. He's moving around a lot, so we must ensure he doesn't get dehydrated. Take him to an isolation room immediately, and no one should accompany him." She begins dividing the medicine box. Since he is a child, she prescribes paracetamol 500 every 6 hours, and an antibiotic every 12 hours after food. They have started calling Aileen the healing princess. They leave, and the scene shifts to the place where the father of the treated boy is. The father says his son's fever dropped the next day. He was shocked. At first he thought she was a witch who had made a pact with a spirit, but it seems she is an herbalist. It appears the rumor about the blessed medicines is true. Hume asks him if he thinks the Vancry family is involved. The man replies that he is certain, and he believes the man with her was the hero. At night, Hume goes to see Raficial and introduces himself, stating he wants to investigate the Van Krieft family's medicines. Raficial replies that he is also curious about these medicines that fight the epidemic, but he knows exactly what Hume wants. He wants the medicine for his mother, whose condition isn't improving. Hume apologizes for his actions, and Raficial forgives him. Hume admits he has a personal motive, but notes that all the merchants are competing for these medicines. If the court healers don't provide them soon, they will lose the people's trust. He begs to be allowed to study the medicines. Raficial thinks for a moment and agrees. He tells Hume the main reason for his approval is that Hume is a spirit sorcerer. Despite his young age, Raficial likes people with a promising future. However, there is a condition he must adhere to in his research. The Vancry family holds a special status with the royal family. He orders him to leave and report anything new. Afterward, Raficiel orders his guards to summon Gadiel. As Hume leaves, he looks fearful and tense regarding Raficiel. Although Raficiel seemed to be in a good mood, there is something suspicious hiding behind his smile. Hume fears this, thinking that since it involves the Van Krieft family, it's a domain he shouldn't be interfering in. We then see Raficiel with Gadiel. He asks if Gadiel still exchanges letters with his son Sovel. Gadiel replies that he does, but Sovel only replies occasionally. His father tells him, "It seems the Van Krieft family has recently hired a skilled herbalist. They say the spirit princess herself recruited her." Gadiel is surprised by his father's words. Next, we move to Rofel with his daughter, his brother Sovel, and her grandfather. The grandfather states that the number of citizens staying on their lands seeking treatment has risen by 30% since last month. Consequently, they can no longer stock enough medical supplies, and desperate patients have begun fighting over medicine. Aileen tells them they must start a triage system, prioritizing patient treatment based on the severity of their condition. Children, pregnant women, and those who have fainted, being the most vulnerable, will be at the front of the line, along with the infected. They love this idea, impressed that such a young child is smart enough to come up with a plan so quickly. Aileen thanks them for their praise, but tells them her knowledge is inherited from her ancestors, not invented by herself. Their warm praise makes her feel a bit guilty. Her father, Rofel, tells her that her ancestors are surely resting in peace and happiness because of what she is doing. He hugs her, telling her she is the best. His brother Sauvel tells him he spoils her too much. Rofel gets angry, telling Sauvel that he didn't show enough interest in his own daughter, and the fault lies with him. Sauvel looks sad and remembers when he went to his daughter Rafelia. Sauvel speaks to them, saying, "My daughter is going through a rebellious phase. I think she is angry because I neglected her." But he tells Rofel, "Let's get back to the topic. There is a problem we need to discuss. Due to the increase in people coming here for treatment, I've received reports regarding public safety. They look at Eileen and she is surprised, asking why they are looking at her like that. Salvo continues, even a child can't be this unaware of herself at this age. Eileen asks what the matter is. Rofel tells her that rumors are spreading everywhere that a girl from the Vankrip family is the one providing the medicines. If things continue like this, her life could be in danger. You will have a bodyguard. You will see him now. Alberto and Ron enter, accompanied by a child. We learn that this child, named Kai, is Eileen's bodyguard. Sovel mentions that Kai is 13 years old. Eileen is surprised. She tells her father, "You are always busy with work, so I never felt the presence of a woman in your life." Kai introduces himself, saying, "My father told me you saved me. I will do my best to protect you." Rofel says, "The problem is specifically using a human god." Suddenly, Rofel calls out to a tiger. The tiger introduces himself. "I am Van, the son of the great wind spirit, Vint." Eileen is overjoyed when she touches him. "He is very fluffy and smells great." Van replies, "I took a bath immediately." Rofel explains that Van will be a god from the spirit world as well. Van can control wind freely and has hearing so sharp he can pick up rumors from far away, which will be very useful. Sovel gets angry, saying, "A monster of this size will cause chaos in the town." Suddenly, the tiger transforms into a very handsome boy. Eileen is happy that he learned human transformation and became so handsome. Van gets into an argument with the other boy, Kai, but Rofleg grabs his daughter and tells them, "Why are you fighting over my daughter Eileen? I will protect her myself, and I won't allow either of you to marry my daughter." The scene shifts to Hume and Gaddies, the prince, who says they will look for a nearby inn to spend the night. Hume asks the prince to distance himself a little. Everyone is surprised that he speaks to the prince in this tone. Hume explains that his spirit is terrified of the prince. The prince accepts this and asks to be called by his name. He said, Hume tells them, "We must get those medicines, figure out how they are prepared, and determine the role of the young lady from the Vankri family, and whether spirits are the ones making the medicine. My spirit will conduct this investigation." He asks, "What will we do if my spirit is too scared to work?" He looks at the sky, sees strange lights, and says the sickness is spreading to the sky, and they must stop it. Everyone feels a great power when looking at the sky. Hume feels his spirit trembling and thinks the rumors about spirits making the medicine might actually be true. The prince thinks to himself, could it be Eileen who is actually preparing the medicine? They continue walking to find the truth. The prince thinks, "I am indeed selfish, but I want to see you so much, Eileen." The scene moves to a maid calling out to Miss Rafeia, handing her a letter addressed from Gael. She is overjoyed, takes it, reads it, and becomes very happy. Finally, we see Eileen with her father Rofel, her uncle, and the boy in a carriage. Eileen asks, "How is Uncle Alberto's wife?" Her uncle replies, "She is very brave and reliable." The boy says, "It's a little embarrassing to hear you talk about my mom like that." "Excuse me?" Eileen says to him, "It seems your mother is the one who calls the shots in the house." He replies, "Of course." Everyone laughs. The uncle tells her, "You will meet her soon. You must visit us." Then the uncle jokes, "I see that Eileen is the one who calls the shots in your case," which makes her father Rofel angry. Then Eileen and her father arrive. Van appears and tells her that he is by her side if she needs anything, and Eileen thanks him for his help. They go inside and the female doctor informs them that things are going very well among the healers, but there are countless patients insisting they arrived first, and everyone is tense about whether or not they will receive the medicine. Eileen tells them she will make more medicine for everyone. Her father tells her that is impossible and beyond her strength. She becomes sad and begs her father to let her make even a little more. Her father hugs her and tells her never to overwork herself. At the end of the day, Eileen and her father return home. When the tiger enters the palace, the maids are frightened. Her father tells them not to be afraid, and the tiger transforms into his human form and introduces himself. Ron appears and welcomes them. It is clear that Eileen loves him very much. Then Eileen's uncle mentions that he will be having dinner with Raphaelia, Arya, and his mother tonight. Afterward, they drink tea together. Ron informs Eileen that all the tasks she assigned to him have been completed. Eileen then asks for his advice regarding fertilizer for the lands, stating she will go there with him after she finishes with the medical center matters. Suddenly, one of the maids enters and informs them that Princess Raphaelia is nowhere to be found in the entire palace. Her father becomes very frightened. He goes to his wife Arya and asks about their daughter Raphaelia, but she knows nothing about her. We then see her father looking very sad. Van steps out onto the balcony and listens to a voice from afar. He tells them that the voice is saying, "We must get the medicine from the Vankref family." Everyone is shocked and realizes that Raphaelia has been kidnapped instead of Eileen, and and so ends our episode. To see more, please subscribe to the channel and activate the bell button.